Friends, it is the Monday after Thanksgiving. Shanika, we welcome Damon back after an extended time off.
Thank you.
And we're all just trying to move forward after that long Thanksgiving break.
Oh, I know. Yeah. How much turkey did you eat, Mark?
A little bit too much, actually.
Okay, yeah.
But it wasn't just the turkey. It was the stuffing and everything else and the chocolate, the desserts, the chocolate cake. And
that stuffing snuck up on me. I'm going to say that much.
Did you eat a lot of turkey, Damon?
No. Well, some turkey, yes. We do a smoked turkey, ironically enough.
But
we had all the fixings, too, and I usually dive into the fixings pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
My family spoiled me a little bit while I was back home.
That's what it's supposed to be, right? That's what the whole experience is about, just hanging out with friends and family.
This might be debatable. A lot of people say you're supposed to throw away all of the leftovers after 3 days. Is that true?
I thought it was 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Maybe it changes. I don't know.
As long as it's not spoiled.
Yeah.
Well,
I think you're fine.
So if you're still eating leftovers today, I don't think you're supposed to.
No, you're
That's
fine.
That's what people say.
You're fine. I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah, but we might be getting at the end of the shelf life, if that even makes sense when it comes to Thanksgiving leftovers. But hey, I don't really have a taste for any Thanksgiving food right now.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah, we'll wait till next November, I guess, 2026. But hey, it's Monday, and Shanika, I guess weather is a concern. Thankfully, we have our meteorologist who's going to get in that in just a moment. But it's certainly a concern in the region.
Oh yes, it's a concern. And did you hear about what happened over the weekend with travel?
Oh, yeah.
And of course, I was mentioning all week last week, Sunday will be one of the busiest days to travel. And then to add to the mix, you're seeing, that weather. So it made a lot of, people just kind of stuck at airports. And we had major delays in our area as well. Reagan National, a lot of people were talking about just waiting in line and traffic before flying out on the roadways. 95 was backed up. You had Wednesday being one of the most busiest days, last Wednesday, to travel, as many people were trying to, get to their destination before Thursday, which was Thanksgiving. So Wednesday was the busy day. And then Sunday just turned into a headache because of this here. Now, we did not have what you're seeing here. I believe that's Chicago.
Yeah.
You had nearly 1,600 delays at O'Hare. Over 12 inches of snow fell near Lake Michigan as well.
Well, Shanika, over the weekend I was probably watching too much football, and I think University of Illinois, they were playing, and I forgot who they were playing, but during the game it was just I don't know if it was a snowstorm, but it certainly looked like a winter mix of some sort, and the field was covered with snow. So when you see that there were 1,600 delays at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport, it's certainly not a surprise. Let's bring in our guy, meteorologist Damon Matson, who joined us again. Damon, some concerns in the region over the next couple of days?
Yeah, and it's ironic because we talk about that storm that impacted the Midwest and just caused that train of travel delays, if you will, down the line. And that itself was one storm that brought all that snow to the upper Midwest and then eventually swept just north of the DMV. So yeah, parts of the country were blasted by that snow, that wintry mix. As we head into the night tonight and into the day Tuesday, then, we're gearing up for a different storm that's starting to build across the country. And yes, it's going to bring that next wintry blast to many, and it's even going to include parts of the DMV. Now, it's quiet overhead here today. We've only had a few clouds building in across some of our western counties here and there. We'll see that cloud cover building across the entire area as we head into the night, because there it is. The next storm system is swinging its way off the Rockies, and it's going to take a track off to the north and east. On the northern side of that system, right there in the blue, plenty of snow coming down across parts of Missouri, Iowa, into Illinois. Again, some of the same places that got blasted over the weekend with that wintry weather. And then you see on the southern end of that system some rain down near Houston, and in between, a little bit of pink. That's a wintry mix that is going to be on that sort of freezing line where the temperature holds right at 32. And believe believe it or not here, that freezing line, it's going to take a track right toward us here in the DMV. Now, for the time being, the rest of today into your Monday evening, absolutely no concerns. Things are going to stay quiet and, well, fairly sunny for many of us too for the next few hours. It'll still be chilly. Temperatures only in the 40s. And then as we head into the night and that cloud cover builds and those temperatures start to drop, that's going to be a key factor into how things ultimately unfold. But at least for a short bit of time, the entire area is going to experience some bit of wintry weather. Now, where we're expecting some snow, perhaps ice accumulation even, that's where we have a winter weather advisory taking effect in the middle of the night tonight, all the way up until lunchtime tomorrow from about Montgomery, Frederick counties down to the south and west through Loudoun, Fauquier counties into the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. So north and west of D.C., we are expecting some wintry impacts. Could we see that, though, all the way down into the city, or is this mostly going to be a rain event? Either way, it's impactful. We'll talk more about that and have more details on this storm system coming up in that full forecast, Mark and Shanika. But for the first time this season, it looks like we're going to be dealing with some widespread wintry weather across the region.
All right, Damon, thank you so very much. We'll check back with you in just a few minutes. Shanika, big story that we covered last week that remains a major talker here in the region. The attack of two West Virginia National Guard members on Wednesday, and Sarah Beckstrom did not survive her injuries. What's the latest?
Yeah, tragedy, Mark. West Virginia National Guard Specialist Sarah Beckstrom, she was one of two National Guard members who was shot on Wednesday. She died on Thanksgiving Day. Just really young, too, 20 years old. Her hometown in Webster County had multiple vigils for her, including at her high school, and Beckstrom's physical education teacher just described her as a strong young woman with a heart of gold. West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey joined the community after being in Washington, D.C. and Martinsburg, where Guardsman Andrew Wolf is still holding on to his life. Morrisey said the state must stay strong, stay together, especially during times like this. Take a listen.
We're gathering together as a community, as a state, and as a family, bound by grief, but to honor the life, the courage, and the spirit of Sarah Beckstrom, a young woman with a bright smile, a very big heart, and someone who loved to serve others.
Yeah, the funeral home representative told the crowd that the family will share plans when they are ready to about services. The other guardsman, Sergeant Andrew Wolf, still in critical condition in the hospital. President Trump invited the families of the guard members to the White House. President Trump and the administration, they've halted all asylum decisions and paused issuing visas to people traveling on Afghanistan passports. The suspect in the shooting is an Afghan national who worked for the CIA during the Afghanistan war. He applied for asylum after the war and was granted it. The man is now facing several charges, including first-degree murder. A director of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services said on social media that asylum decisions will be paused until we can ensure that every alien is vetted and screened to the maximum degree possible.
And I want to add that President Trump, he also floated the idea of permanently pausing migration from poorer nations. That is from a quote from President Trump. He also said that these folks weren't properly vetted, and that is really concerning to some folks there. Let's move on to Janice Lewis George. So if you recall, last week, Mayor Muriel Bowser says she's not running for re-election. So Janice Lewis George, she's running for mayor. That's what she said. Many people are standing by to see really who else is running. I know a lot of people are thinking maybe even Trayon White. I've heard some people throw his name out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously when Mayor Bowser announced that she wasn't going to run for re-election. That really kind of opened the door for a whole lot of candidates. And as time continues on, Shanika, we can assume that even more people will throw their hat into the ring. It's going to be an interesting political season, that's for sure, in 2026. Hey, let's talk about the Commanders. Our Washington Commanders, boy, they came up short last night. They lost another tough one, Shanika. They lost in overtime to the Denver Broncos, 27-26. Of course, they hosted a game at Northwest Stadium. Marcus Mariota was at quarterback. Wide receiver Terry McLaurin and safety Will Harris returned to play in yesterday's game after injuries kept them out for a few weeks. Again, that game went into overtime with the score tied at 20. In the last few minutes of overtime, Commanders tried to score on extra 2 points after scoring a touchdown. The score was 27-26. The pass was batted down by a Broncos defender and Shanika Grimshaw. I know you didn't get a chance to see the game, but
So I saw a little bit of it in the beginning.
that pass that was batted down had Mariota, and it's easy to talk about it because we're not playing quarterback. Had he just thrown that ball a little bit higher, the Commanders receiver would have caught that ball and he could have just walked backwards into the end zone. You know, it's a game of inches, right?
Yes, I know. You can lose by just a few inches.
Right.
And
That's what happened.
I was on the edge of my seat in the beginning because, I saw us score a touchdown. I say us, Commanders, and then I saw the Broncos score, and they just kept scoring and scoring. Yeah. I ended up going to bed, of course, but
Absolutely.
I woke up to the news, Mark, and
Yeah.
I wasn't happy. I was ready to wear my burgundy today.
Now, you know what? But they played hard.
They
came
did.
up short, and kind of had just a snapshot of maybe what could have been had there not been so many injuries. Of course, all teams deal with injuries, but my goodness, it just seems like that the Commanders lost a lot of key people for an extended period of time.
Yes.
Stay with us. You're watching DC News Now at noon. We'll be right back in 2 minutes.